Okay, so we're going to learn how to draw the tea light, which is obviously the main component for our tea light holder. So first of all, we need to do a new project. If you don't know how to do that, just come to the 9 little squares and click Projects, New Project. If you can't see that, let me show you again. So come here, and you might actually see your existing projects over here. Little arrow pointing to the left. So do New Project, and I'm going to call that Year 9 Tea Light Holder. You might want to save it with your name or some reference to the tea light holder there. So that's a new project. And then it knows that I'm in that, so I'm now going to do a new file. So File, New Design. And I'm going to call this, save this, and call that tea light holder. Okay, click the 9 little squares, that goes away. Right, so let's get started. Create sketch, straight into that. I'm going to go on the base plane here, go up to sketch, get a circle, and center point. You go right from the center there. It's always best to work from the center, it just makes things much easier. I'm going to click and drag. Now I happen to know that 40mm is the size I want. So I click 40, confirm that. I'm going to stop the sketch. I'm going to click Q, the letter Q, which brings the press pull. You can also get it under modify press pull, but the letter Q just brings it up quickly. Get the top surface, and I happen to know it's 15mm tool that I want to go. Now I need to hollow this out. It's solid at the minute. So I get the top plane, I click modify, shell, and I want the thickness of my material, the thickness of the aluminium, to be 1mm. So I click 1mm. There we are. Now I want to make it look like aluminium. So I right click, I choose appearance, a little plus there, and I want to find aluminium. So obviously that's a type of metal. Go to aluminium, and I've got all these different options. So I'm going to choose, scroll down a little bit, polished. So I click on polished, and I drag it over, and I apply it, and I'm applying to the bodies rather than the faces. So that's applied. It doesn't look very different because it's silver, but you'll see later how much better that looks. So now we've got the aluminium cup. We need to put the wax component in. So I'm just going to select this surface here, and I'm going to do sketch, new sketch on that top surface. Lovely. And this time I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to create a cylinder. So I create a cylinder, I click the center point, and now I bring it out. So that needs to be 40mm minus 1mm for each edge of the aluminium cup. So obviously that's 38. 38, and now I just need to set the height, and I'm going to set that to 12 because I measured it previously, 12. Okay, now I click on that, right click, appearance, and I'm going to choose wax. There. So if I just close out my metals, and I go to other, scroll down to wax, and I'm going to go for natural wax, so you could go for white, and just apply that to there. Okay, so now we've got the aluminium cup and the wax candle in the center of it. All I need to do is put the wick in the middle. So that's the final step, and we're going to learn a new tool for that. So again, I'm going to click here, and do sketch, and this time I actually want this back surface here. So not the top, this surface here. So I'll click on that. If you can't see those planes, you need to make sure your origins are switched on over here. Okay. So now I'm going to draw using the spline. I'm going to zoom in, and right from the top there of the wax, so I can't see the wax at the minute because the aluminium part's in the way, so I'm just going to switch that off. I simply do that. I come over here and I go to bodies, switch off body 1, Okay, this is a short introduction to getting started with our tea light holder. So the first thing we need to draw is the actual tea light with the candle in it itself. So we want to create a new project. You may not have done that before. So if you come over and click on the 9 squares, the likelihood is that you'll end up seeing something like this with your work in it. So if you click this arrow on the left, a new project. Now I'm going to call mine Year 9 tea light holder. And you want to call yours something sensible, so you'll be able to find it later. So there are, Year 9 tea light holder. And just wait for that to upload. So now within that, I'm going to do a new project. By just coming over here, I can close that out and do File, New Design. Okay, so this should only be a few steps and we'll be there straight away. So we need to first of all create a new sketch, so just the plus here, and I want to do it on the base plane. I'm going to come over and I'm going to choose Circle and Center Diameter Circle. So I'll show that again. I'm going to come over and choose Sketch, the hanging arrow, Circle, Center Diameter. Click once, drag out randomly. I happen to know it's 40. So I click that twice. I can stop sketch. I now want to extrude this top surface, so I could do Modify, press Pull, but a quicker way to get there is just to click Q, top surface, and I happen to know this is 15, so I'll come up by 15. Now I want to make it hollow or shell it, so I click Modify, Shell, click the top surface, and I know the diameter, the thickness of the material, so is 1 millimeter. So there we are. We now have a nice shelled object. So I'll show what's going on there. Beautiful. Now click the home button to get us back to where we began. Okay, I just want to change the material. So if I right click and appearance, I can then choose all sorts of different materials that I can make it from. So we just come to paint, for example. We could choose glossy black, and we could apply that either to the body or to the face. Now in this case it's not glossy black paint, it's aluminium, so we'll close up here and we'll go to metal and we'll choose aluminium polished. If you can't get it, you might have this little symbol here. That means you just need to download it, so just download material, but I've already done that. So polished aluminium, click on the image, bring it over, lovely, polished aluminium. Next job is to put the wax in. So I'm going to click this bottom face here, say I want a new sketch. Use a different tool this time. I'm going to use the Create tool and the cylinder. So go from the center. I need to come out so it comes all the way to the edge here, and that will also be 38 millimeters. It's 40 minus 1 minus 1. The height of it I need to say, and it's 12 mil. I measured that previously. Now that doesn't look right, so let's turn that to wax. So appearance by right clicking. Close down those metals there that I left open, and we'll choose other and then wax. And there are two different wax options. There's natural or white. So I'm going to put natural there, and that's looking quite waxy. So let's just close that down. Only thing left to do is put our wick in. So this time, actually I need to make sure I've done the correct thing. So I'm just going to come back here, click on the cylinder, right click. Sometimes it's a little bit tricky to get it to right click. Let's just click off the side, escape to deselect, right click. Yeah, I can do it this time. It's because I was selected, it didn't let me right click last time. Edit feature, something I didn't check here. When I extruded it, it joined it, so it made it all one object. I actually want that to be a separate body so I can play with it. So I changed it to new body, and it's now changed it to their separate pieces so I can play around. Now, if I go to bodies, you can see there are two. So if I switch off the first one, we've just got the wax piece. So what I want to do is do a new sketch, but I don't want to do it on this object. I want to do it near the object, but not quite on it. So what I do is I turn on my origins, which are switched off, and I select either one of these ones. So do sketch, and that one there is absolutely fine. Right, so I want to draw on that, and I want to draw just up here. So I choose the spline, and I'm just going to draw a little short wick, so come up, and then give it a bit of a curve, just so it looks a bit more natural. And then I'm going to click enter. Now I'm going to do a feature you've not done previously, which is to create a pipe. So I come here, I can choose pipe. First of all, where's the path it's asking me? So that's the path I want there. And then it's asking me what sort of pipe do I want. Do I want circular, square, triangle, etc. So I want it to be circular. And it's defaulting to cut, but I don't want to cut, I want a new body. So I click there, and there I've got my wick. So I just need to give that an appearance. Give that an appearance. And I'm just going to choose black paint for this, because I know that works quite nicely. It looks pretty good, so black paint. Put that on there. Okay, and that's gone black. So now if I close that out, and I switch my cut back on, I've got my completed candle holder, so I just need to save that. And now we're ready for the next stage.